Hello, my name is John Burris. Thank you for joining me today. Today's video is called Yoga Has Been Hijacked by the Fitness Industry. In this video today, I'll be sharing with you some of the transformations that have happened in yoga in the last 20 years or so. Show you what are the core principles that a yoga class should entail, and then show you how we went off track. And if you're new to yoga or been practicing yoga for a while, I'll be giving you some details about what to look for in your yoga experience. So in my background, I've been in the yoga community for about 35 years. I'm not only a fascia body worker and body-mind therapist and anatomy teacher, I've been a yoga instructor for about 35 years. I taught lots of classes and workshops and retreats. And I've seen dramatic transformations occur in the yoga world over my course of teaching and experiencing. And some of them are alarming. And essentially, yoga has been whitewashed, and basically a lot of its core values have been diminished. So in today's video, we'll be discussing that and share with you ways to look for more yoga than fitness. So about 20 years or so, I started to see a dramatic transformation in the yoga world. As yoga became more and more popular in the 80s and 90s, what happened was it became hijacked, and the fitness industry and all the associated industries around it said, we want part of that. The clothing industry, the media, the sports industry, it all came together to essentially hijack yoga and turn it into something that became a gym workout and a fitness experience. And it's tarnished much of the principles. So fitness essentially hijacked the yoga experience and make it its own. So as you'll see now in today's culture, you'll see yoga taught at gyms and fitness centers. And by and large, you can get a really good yoga instructor often at a gym or fitness center, or you can get somebody who's been basically a fitness instructor most of their life, and they take a 3-day yoga course and now they're yoga teachers. So you get a whole mixed bag. And you also see a lot of what's happened too. You'll see a lot of fitness classes now taught at yoga studios. So you have this mixed bag of Pilates classes and bar classes and weight training and cardio classes at yoga studios. And so essentially the sanctuary of the yoga room became hijacked and depleted, and you're now in this mixed bag of sorts. And the way I often look at it is I like congruency. I like when things happen where they're supposed to happen. So for example, if you're at a juice bar and one hand you're drinking a green juice and the other hand you're drinking a beer, that's not congruent. Well, that's what we have going on today in today's yoga studios and gyms. We have lack of congruency. Gym workouts should happen in the gym. Yoga should happen in the yoga studio. They should not be mixed. And I feel strongly about this, and I'll tell you why as we get farther into the video why. So imagine you pulled your car into your living room to change the oil. Not congruent, probably not a good idea. Imagine cooking dinner in the bathroom of your apartment. Probably not a good idea. So there's a time and place for everything. And in my experience, yoga should be at a yoga studio. And fitness and gym workouts should be at a gym. And they should be separate. And mixing them together, it's like oil and water. We've done a great disservice to the yoga experience by doing that. A lot of it's because of money, because yoga studios and fitness centers can get more money by having cross clients doing different things, but you've lost the integrity of your business when you do that. And so a lot of these yoga studios and fitness centers have lost integrity because they don't have intention anymore. And so we'll talk about that as we get deeper into this. So once again, one of my big issues is that a lot of the core principles of yoga have been tarnished and turned into just a fitness workout and a gym workout. And without either that's at the gym, the health club, or the yoga studio. So you'll get what might look like yoga, and it's practiced in a yoga room with a yoga mat, but often it's just fitness. And it's lost its integrity, and it's lost the values of true yoga. I'm not a purist. I know there's lots of different types of yoga, from the very simple restorative yoga to yin yoga stretching to Iyengar to Bikram hot yoga to Ashtanga yoga, and I'm okay with all of that. But let's be clear, a lot of what's happened today is the tarnishing of yoga because it's just become a workout and it's advertised and marketed as such. And you'll see a lot of that on different platforms on the internet where you'll see people showing you different yoga moves, but it's really fitness masquerading as yoga. So once again, some of the core principles of yoga have been lost because of this hijacking by the fitness industry. Nobody owns yoga. It's a very interesting, transformative experience. Some people say it's been around for thousands of years, other people say 100. But it's evolving and becoming more fitness oriented is part of the evolution. But what happens when things evolve is you lose your core principles. For example, when an outside entity takes over, it changes the entity. So if I've seen this in corporate yoga, when I first started teaching yoga, it was some mom and pop stores. And then corporations bought all these studios out and it became a giant mega business, and it led to all kinds of problems because the owners and managers didn't really understand what the core principles of yoga are. I see this in the health food industry, how you might have had a mom and pop health food store. They're bought out by the giant conglomerate health food stores, and it changes. It loses integrity and whatnot. So that's what happened in the yoga world. As the fitness industry tried to take over the yoga world, it changed the integrity of yoga, and you lost a lot of its core values. So there are 3 core values that I like in the yoga world. Now, once again, as I said, there are many different styles of yoga, many different teachers teaching those styles with their own interpretation. But what I experience is there's 3 fundamentals of yoga that need to exist for it to be a real yoga class, and these are the 3 fundamentals. The 3 unifying principles of yoga that make it a yoga class are these. Number 1, focused breathing, mostly through the nose. It's often called ujjayi breathing. Number 2, expansive movement, which is lengthening and expanding your body. And number 3 is relaxation response. At the end of the class, you should feel relaxed, not stressed out. So the first principle is the focused breathing through your nose. It's called ujjayi breathing. When you breathe through your nose, your breath is moving through your first cranial nerve. It's calming your mind, which relaxes your body. So this breath of relaxation is, in many cases, it's 50% of the practice where you're focusing on your breathing through your nose. And it's this deep, slow calming, not just working on poses and different directions and whatnot, but you're focusing on the breath. Where in the fitness classes, first of all, many times you're not focusing on breath at all. If you do, it's a chaotic breath. It's this, when I would take a Pilates class, it was this chaotic breath that happened in my upper chest. When you breathe from your upper chest, whether it's in a Pilates class or a spinning class or a aerobics class, we call that the breath of stress. It activates the stress response. When you breathe through your nose in the yoga experience, it activates the relaxation response. Completely different. So you're getting a lot of classes that look like yoga, but there's such a chaotic breath going on. Usually from the upper chest, it's a warrior workout. And you're creating a stress response. When you're getting the yoga experience, in its pure form anyways, you're breathing through your nose and it becomes a relaxation response. It's completely different. So the problem is when you basically teach fitness that looks like yoga, you're getting fitness and you're not getting the breath, which is a large part of the yoga experience. And the second unifying principle of all of yoga is what's called expansive movement. You're expanding the body. You're lengthening, opening, expanding. The gym workouts are contracting the body, about hardening, tightening, shortening, and contracting. So gym workouts are contractive. The problem I see when I watch so many online fitness yoga classes, they're all about strengthening your body. And I see nothing but hard, tight bodies that aren't expanding at all. I've known many yoga students who are completely inflexible because all they do is work on the strength building part of yoga and don't stretch at all. So when your yoga is nothing but hardening your body and you're just focusing on that part, it's a quick, fast-moving warrior workout, you're not really practicing yoga because you're not expanding. It's fitness masquerading as yoga, but you'll see it online every day. You'll see it in videotapes and commercials, fitness yoga masquerading as yoga, because there's no expansion. You have to hold poses for long periods of time and let the fascia warm up and stretch. That's one of the unifying principles of yoga. And in gyms and fitness yoga, you don't get that. So you're getting a workout that looks like yoga, but it misses the fundamental principles of yoga. And the third unifying concept is the relaxation response. You know, when you go to the gym, you might walk out of there feeling pumped up and high energy, but you're stressed out because gyms are warrior workouts and you're increasing the testosterone and the adrenaline and the cortisol in your body, and you're pumped up like a warrior. You're in a stress response. Where the opposite is when you leave a yoga class, at least all the hundreds of classes that I've taken and the thousands I've taught, most likely you're going to leave class in a relaxation response because of the way the class is taught and the shavasana at the end, the relaxation part. You're turning your stress nervous system off and activating your relaxation response. The problem is when you teach fitness and fitness classes that look like yoga, you don't get the relaxation response. You're getting a warrior response, a stress response. And so you're basically missing out on the entire relaxation. I saw this over and over again when I started seeing basically fitness classes, and Pilates classes, bar classes, HIT classes starting to be taught at yoga studios. The students changed from a relaxed clientele to a strung out clientele. In fact, when I would talk to women who would get out of their Pilates class, I say, how do you feel? I said, I feel horrible, but I'm glad I did it and finished it. When I talked to students who got out of the yoga class, they said, I feel dreamy. I want to just go take a nap and have a cup of tea. Very different experience. Now what's happened is when you start teaching fitness classes at a yoga studio, all of a sudden there's energetic chaos because much of the clientele are strung out on testosterone and adrenaline and cortisol. And now the energy field has changed because we've turned yoga studios into fitness centers because the fitness industry has hijacked the yoga experience. So we've lost the relaxation. You know, when I first started teaching yoga, the yoga studio was a sanctuary where people come to leave their problems behind. We didn't have cell phones back then. You weren't disturbed. People weren't bringing their dogs to class. And you can relax, and you left the class feeling dreamy. Well, that's really changed because the fitness world turned yoga into a workout, and now people aren't relaxed because we've lost the sanctuary that used to be the yoga studio. There are so many wonderful benefits to yoga. Remember, yoga and fitness, they're really different. Now, they do interchange sometimes. You can get in shape and lose weight practicing yoga and all kinds of things. They do cross over sometimes, but they're really fundamentally different. They're moving in different directions, doing different things to the body. Yoga is expansive and wants to create a relaxation experience. Fitness is trying to harden and tighten your body. We call that muscle strength, and it creates a stress response after your workout. They're really different, but you can do both, but just know which one you're doing. And once again, my whole premise is continuity. Teach yoga at a yoga studio that has the 3 unifying principles. Teach fitness at a fitness studio, which teaches the principles of fitness. Don't combine them. It's oil and water. You're doing a disservice to everybody when you blend them together. And I think we've tarnished the whole name of yoga by creating fitness yoga. So once again, a lot of my experience is taking both fitness classes and yoga classes and seeing the difference. And then as an anatomy teacher, I can understand the physiology happening in the body. And I've also witnessed many students who are practicing fitness and yoga and watching their experience and how it's different. So once again, yoga is evolving. The problem is we've lost some of the fundamentals of yoga and we've tarnished its integrity. So how do we get back to integrity where yoga is taught at a yoga studio where the end goal is expansion, deep breathing, and relaxation response, and keep fitness at a fitness studio, which is all about your core workouts, your warrior workouts, your hardening and tightening of your body workouts. So let's separate those and bring them back to where they are intended. So that's my premise on this topic. I just want you to understand what you're getting. You may be not even getting yoga when you're taking yoga at a gym or health club. You may not understand when you leave your fitness workout, you're strung out or you're stressed out. Why? So let's come back to some fundamentals and bring some continuity back to the experience here. Thank you for joining me today for this short video called Yoga Has Been Hijacked by the Fitness Industry. If you'd like to learn more about me, I've got a great book called Return to Nature, The 5 Pillars of Healing. You can find that at Amazon or barnesandnoble.com. Please subscribe to this channel here for more leading edge videos to come. And I also have a great website, johnburrows.com, where you can join me there, where I've got lots of great information on new leading edge ideas. Thank you.